Welcome everyone. Cannabis news with Joe Klare for June 6th, 2018. Thanks everybody for checking us out. Everybody checks us out on Vimeo, especially on Vimeo. We got caught up in the Cannabis channel purge on YouTube. So we're on Vimeo now. Make sure you go subscribe. We'll be doing future giveaways and all kinds of stuff there. Vimeo.com/Marijuana Times X, or search the Marijuana Times on Vimeo. You can also find the videos by clicking the video tab at marijuanatimes.org. Of course, we are brought to you by the Marijuana Times. Got a lot of stuff talking about. Gonna be talking about today. North Carolina legalization. North Carolina, maybe we'll see. We'll talk about that. Also, an interesting story about a Southwest flight and marijuana. At least I think it's interesting. Also, we'll see what you all think. And marijuana in Michigan. It'll be on the ballot this November. There was some talk about whether or not the state legislature in Michigan was going to try to undercut that. We'll tell you what happened with that. All of that is coming up. But first, Cannabis news is brought to you by NatureSide, nature-side.com. Check out their organic, all-natural pesticides. NatureSide is a proud sponsor of the show. You want to be regulatory compliant in the state that you're growing in. You don't want to use harmful chemicals. You want to grow safe and poison-free. You can do that with NatureSide, nature-side.com, a proud sponsor of Cannabis News. So thanks to them, and go check them out. This first story from marijuanatimes.org. North Carolina considers legislation to legalize possession of cannabis. This is by Julia Granowitz over at marijuanatimes.org. And of course, all of the articles I talk about and all the stories I talk about on the show are linked in the description of this video. Apparently, 2 bills have recently been introduced in North Carolina that aim to legalize possession of small amounts of marijuana up to 4 ounces. Currently, North Carolina's state law makes 1/2 ounce or less, which is 14 grams, a Class 3 misdemeanor, punishable by up to 20 days in jail time and or community service. Senate Bill 791 and an identical bill, House Bill 994, both decriminalize possession of 4 ounces or less and would raise the amount considered a felony from 1.5 ounces to 1 pound. Now, what makes this bill different from other decriminalization bills, while other decriminalization bills would incur, people who got in trouble for would incur civil citations and fines, this would make personal possession outright legal of less than 4 ounces in North Carolina. Now, obviously, you know, the chances of this happening are not good, but as I've said many times, and as many other people have pointed out, the discussion has to start somewhere. The journey has to start with a single step, as the old Chinese saying goes, or whoever said that for the first time. A lot of people have said it since then. A long journey has to begin somewhere, and this is a good conversation for lawmakers in North Carolina to be having. If it doesn't go anywhere this year, which it probably won't, and it may not go anywhere next year or the year after, but progress, you know, they're not just going to wake up one day and decide, oh, well, we're going to legalize marijuana. There has to be false starts, there has to be failures, all of it leading up to hopefully one day a state like North Carolina and other states in the South having some form of recreational legalization, but at the very least some sort of a robust medical marijuana program. So we'll continue to follow that story, obviously, out of North Carolina. As I said, you can go check out that story by Julia over at marijuanatimes.org. This next story is actually a video. Interesting. Full of, it's a local news story, so it's lots of puns, it's many, but you can get past all that. The story itself is a very odd story. Obviously, there's details that I don't know of that have come to light or may have come to light. I'm not aware if they have or not. It just doesn't seem like the full story of what happened here. But, the title of this video is "Sky High Flight." Maybe it's just high flight. I don't know. One equally cringeworthy puns.
And trouble on a Southwest Airlines plane heading to L.A. after a passenger allegedly tried to get sky high during the flight. He was busted for smoking pot in the lavatory. Smoke alarms blared soon after a Southwest Flight 1250 took off from San Francisco for LAX.
And the pilot, concerned about a fire on board the plane, diverted that flight to San Jose. KCAL9's Crystal Cruz is live in Burbank right now, where many of those passengers finally ended up there tonight. Crystal?
Yeah, you guys, and tonight one of the passengers said he did smell marijuana. Another passenger told us he smelled smoke. Both described a huge inconvenience. Tonight, here are some photos taken inside that plane. Let's have a look. You can see firefighters talking to the man caught smoking in the bathroom. A passenger told me he heard an alarm go off, a loud screeching alarm, something he's never heard before, and he travels a lot, so that's when he knew something was definitely wrong. Then
what's missing from this, and I'm not sure if they say it in the next minute or minute and 5 seconds. I haven't checked. I didn't watch the whole thing through. I wanted to watch it in real time with you all to get reactions. That's the way I like to do things, is watch. I know the basics of the video, what happened. I read a story about it, but I want to watch the video in real time so you get my real time reactions. Why? Of all places, light up in a plane? You're confined. There's nowhere for the smoke to go. There are going to be obvious reactions to there being smoke on a plane that's in the air. It's not like they're right next to a fire station or whatever. Everything is called the fire department. I don't know. I don't know what the point is. I don't know how bad you need to smoke a joint that you would fire up on a plane. I don't know what explanation that could be given that would make me say, oh yeah, well that's understandable.
Plane took a sudden drop and it landed in San Jose. A huge upset to people on board who realized another 30 minutes or so they would have landed right here in Los Angeles. The passenger says the pilot got on the intercom and told them a man was smoking, and that's why they had to divert. Some passengers hopped onto a plane to Burbank. Another passenger stayed at home. One shared his experience with us when he got here.
Looked like that someone needed to smoke a joint on a plane, and he went into the bathroom, smoked his blunt, set off the fire alarm. And that
Why? I still don't know why. Why? What plane do you think that's a good idea? To smoke anything in a bathroom of a plane? It's in the air.
that was at first we were like, ooh, that's weird. And then the plane took an immediate drop after there was, and that was a little bit scary because I guess the pilot had to turn everything around.
And some of those passengers were rerouted and given a $100 voucher. Also, it is illegal to carry marijuana on a plane because the airlines are regulated by the feds. I'm Crystal.
A $100, sorry, your flight got diverted because the guy was smoking in the bathroom voucher. Have a good time. I don't know. I haven't seen any follow-up stories to it. I can't cover every story or follow every story. If you know of a follow-up story to this, what explanation this guy gave, if any, please send it to me. Put in the comment section of this video, whatever. I have to know. What explanation could possibly be given that the guy's like, oh, I just had to fire up a blunt in the bathroom of a plane that is in flight, knowing all of the anxiety that surrounds planes and smoke and terrorism and just you're not allowed to smoke on a plane. Everybody knew that. I don't know. Maybe everyone does not know that. Maybe thought, hey, it's legal now, Holmes. Let's fire up. I'm on a plane. I don't care. We're over a legal state, right? I think we're over California. That's legal, right? It's the last story. It's from clickondetroit.com. Marijuana in Michigan, voters will be asked if they want it legalized. You'll remember for the last few weeks or a couple months or whatever, there's been conjecture about the Michigan legislature possibly stepping in and passing some sort of marijuana legalization, some scaled back version of marijuana legalization as a way to undercut the vote this November. Well, that is not going to happen. The issue of whether to legalize recreational marijuana in Michigan will go before voters in November. If passed, Michigan will become the 11th state, including Washington, D.C., to legalize marijuana or cannabis. Legalized medical marijuana there in Michigan in 2008. If approved by voters, adults 21 and older will be allowed to possess and consume limited amounts of marijuana. The proposal calls for legalizing possession and sale of up to 2.5 ounces of marijuana, which would be a rather robust limit when compared to other states that have legalized recreationally. You'll be allowed to purchase the allowed amount of marijuana from a licensed business. Businesses will be licensed by the state. The initiative allows cities to decide if they want to allow these businesses in their municipalities. These are all basic staples now of cannabis legalization, of recreational legalization measures. Voters do pass legalization of recreational marijuana. Legislators will have to write the new law. For instance, Maine voters decided to legalize cannabis in their state in 2016. That prompted the Marijuana Legalization Act, which was to take effect within 40 days of November 8th, 2016. It means if it does pass, you might not be able to light up then. It may have to be enacted. There may be a waiting period after the November vote if it is passed. I can't stress this enough. If you live in Michigan and you want recreational marijuana to pass, well, this is it. You got 5 months, almost exactly, to maybe exactly, I'm not sure, to get this done. Whatever needs to happen. Polls look good in Michigan, but polls look good in other places, and it didn't pass. Polls look good for Prop 19 in 2010 in California. No. Polls look good for medical marijuana in Florida in 2014. They look fantastic, but it didn't get enough. So don't be complacent in Michigan. If you live there, if you're an activist, if you support it, make that known. Do what you can. Get the word out. Get the vote out. You know the drill. People have to go vote for it to pass. That's the only way this works. It's the only way it happens. We'll be here, continue to do our part here on Cannabis News. It is June 6, 2018. Thank you to nature-side.com for being a proud sponsor of the show. Go check out the organic, all-natural pesticides. Check us out on Apple Podcasts. Search the Marijuana Times on there. And, keep spreading the word. Vimeo. There's Vimeo videos. Keep sharing them. That would be awesome of you. And we will continue here on Cannabis News 5 days a week, getting the news out there, helping spread the truth about cannabis. Hopefully you will like and share and comment on the videos and help us in that mission. We'll see you next time on Cannabis News.